Hey guys, it's Dalmatian Productions here bringing you guys another video. Now this video is going to be talking about retail once again, but I just want to clarify why I've been talking about it recently on my channel. So it's just because a lot of people have been asking me why I make retail related videos, and it's mainly because retailer, by the way, now on my channel is what the main focus is on my channel now. Because you guys probably know I deleted most of my other playlists and some I either unlisted or privated, just so people know that I wanted to focus on retail and stuff like that. Now, I'm just going to be talking about a few different retailers I've been talking about for the past few months now. And you guys probably know back in June is when I actually started talking about my childhood Kmart store for about a few days or so, and then I started getting into it more all the way up until July 19th, and you guys know, I was secretly against my Kmart store for some reason since 2013, but I pretty much never told anybody about it since 7 years ago in 2013, and I get this mixed feeling sometimes with retailers that close down, and sometimes I get mad, sometimes I get angry, and stuff like that, so as far as I'm aware of, Kmart isn't doing well as it used to be anymore. It's, they are not getting that much attention anymore. I feel like these days, nobody really cares about them anymore. Especially with their blue light specials back in the early 2000s, Kmart really tried to do backfire, with their blue light specials, just to get everybody's attention once again. But again, it really didn't help anything. And it really just blew it up with them, and especially with Kmart's mascot at the time, which was Mr. Blue. I'm pretty sure you guys probably remember him like years ago in the 2000s. I'm pretty sure a lot of people do. I actually remember some of the commercials that had the mascot in it from like 2007 up until 2008. So, one thing I just wish that, there's only about approximately 25 left in the continental U.S. There's actually 9 in territories. Now, Puerto Rico actually has 4. I was actually wrong. Thanks to Jack Williams for giving me this information, because he used to work for Kmart many, many, many years ago in the early 2000s. Puerto Rico used to have 6, and now they lost 2 Kmarts already, and now they're down to about 4. U.S. Virgin Islands have 4, and Guam has 1. Now, what's also interesting is Guam, by the way, Kmart down there, people in Guam love Kmart there. And that one might take years to close. Eddie has already closed down a lot of Kmart stores since Charles Conaway. I can barely tell how much he's done more damage to Kmart and Sears comparing that to Charles Conaway when he was CEO of Kmart in 2000. Now, I'm just going to compare Eddie Lampert and Charles Conaway of how much stores they have closed. So Charles Conaway, if you guys don't know, he was the CEO of Kmart, I think up until 2002 or 2003, I don't know for sure, but pretty much he closed down about 600 Kmarts around 2002 and 2003 when Kmart was in bankruptcy, and a lot of people blamed Charles Conaway for closures and a lot of job layoffs, and they weren't really doing well up at that point. And at the time there was about approximately 1,600 stores, and my dog's barking again, god damn it. And Eddie Lampert himself, he's closed a lot of stores. Like almost approximately 300,000 stores, and it's like, wow. He's been doing that since he took CEO position in 2013, and but in 2018, he stepped down as CEO of Sears Holdings, and he later created his own company called Transform Co., which no one fucking cares about. But he's still the chairman of his own company, which no one even cares about. And Transform Co. does have a Facebook page, which nobody even cares about. By the way, guys, Transform Co. on Facebook, guess who runs that page? Yeah, Eddie Lampert runs that Transform Co. Facebook page. And people are making fun of him and stuff like that. I'm pretty sure he's probably getting pissed off about it, because, people are making fun of him. which I'm not going to explain, go into detail that much in this video, but first, I'm going to go into talk about Sears now. Now, Sears in my area has been closed for about 3 years now, and what's also interesting is I didn't realize that they were closing when I first saw the article saying it was going to be closing by September 2017. I was like, oh shit, it's closing. What can I do? I am panicking right now. They're closing, Mom. They're closing. Why are they closing? And, I was kind of I was kind of freaking out about it. And, what's also interesting, guys, is I was actually planning on getting a job at my local Sears, but unfortunately that never happened because they unfortunately closed in 2017. And, about a year later after they closed, I actually found out who was responsible for the store closures and who was responsible for everything. And that's who I finally knew. That's when I finally knew about Eddie Lampert himself. And one of these days, I would just, definitely lock him up, throw him in a Kmart prison yard and lock him up there for life. I would just love to just kick him right in the balls, throw him in a Kmart prison yard and lock him up there for life. Or I can just throw him at Cityview Center, lock him up in one of the buildings there, and I would lock him up definitely at the abandoned Walmart at Cityview Center. So, now, I'm just gonna go on a limb here is, the way he's been treating these stores, it's not fair because, this isn't funny anymore, dude. You're just literally doing this on purpose just to basically illegally embezzle money. And you guys probably know Eddie Lampert's already been accused of stealing from the company. Old Sears, aka Sears Holdings, filed a lawsuit against him in 2019, and then nothing happened. And I just want to make it out that he did actually bribe the bankruptcy judge in 2019. Meaning he actually wanted the judge saying that Eddie Lampert pretty much wanted to continue controlling Sears, and the bankruptcy judge was like, yeah, I'll just let you continue staying with Sears and see what happens in the future. And my god, that bankruptcy judge was such a fucking asshole. That judge should have just instantly lay Eddie Lampert off, and he should have never, ever let him stay for the company. I mean, the bankruptcy judge, by the way, guys, they are still monitoring his actions in his own company and at Transform Co., which no one even cares about. Yeah, so I just want to make it out, guys, that, I really don't blame of what Alan Lacy did. If you guys don't know who Alan Lacy is, he was the CEO of Sears, Roebuck & Co. a long time ago in the early 90s, I'd say. 1994, Alan Lacy took that CEO position. I think a lot of people knew that he was the most memorable CEO ever for Sears, Roebuck & Co. He was the CEO until 2004 when he apparently approved the merge with Kmart and Sears. And then Eddie Lampert, for some shitty reason, decided it's like, nope, you're not getting this name. You're not getting the Sears Holdings name. I'm gonna give it to somebody else and not you. And that's when Alan Lacy pretty much quit his job. And I really don't blame him of what he's done in 2004. I really think that was a smart idea. But here's something interesting. Eddie Lampert's ESL Investments Company pretty much bought Kmart's debts around the time that I was born in 2003, and that's when Kmart became in trouble again. They were starting to become in trouble again because, their debts were purchased by Lampert's shitty ESL Investments Company, which no one fucking cares about, and around the same time, Eddie pretty much bought Sears, and he wanted to basically merge it with Kmart in 2004. So he bought Sears in 2004, and he wanted to merge it with Kmart. And Alan Lacy, people are saying he made that big mistake, saying he approved that, and I really don't think that was a bad idea. I just think it was a smart idea, because even though if Kmart and Sears weren't merged today, then obviously they would have been both become bankrupt. Sears has been around for a really long time. I mean, really long time. They've been around since the late 19th century. They've been around since 1886. Well, technically, the Sears was established in 1886, but they never started until 1893. Consider the fact that, if you guys don't know, I'm going to talk about my Sears for a little bit here on this video, in this video. So Minot, North Dakota actually saw Sears, the Sears in Minot, North Dakota, the Sears in Minot first appeared as early as 1945. Apparently, they don't know what the actual opening date was. All I know is it appeared here in Minot, North Dakota as early as 1945. In 1964, February of 1964, Town and Country Center opened, and in that same year, 1964, Sears left the downtown area and moved to the Town and Country Center. They used to be on the far south end of the Town and Country Center, where Joann's is. I'm pretty sure everyone's familiar with Joann's nowadays. But in 1980, Dakota Square Mall opened, but Sears actually stayed at Town and Country until 1988. In 1988, Sears left, and in November of 1988, Sears opened at Dakota Square Mall, though. Unfortunately, in June of 2017, it was listed that it was going to be closing by September of 2017. And that kind of, unfortunately, sucked when they were closing. And you guys probably know, not too long ago, in July of 2020, my childhood Kmart closed, which kind of got me in a mixed feeling. And really, the Minot, North Dakota Kmart, guys, by the way, was the last Kmart in the state of North Dakota, because Bismarck's closed up a few months before Minot, North Dakota was listed, before it got announced. So I actually didn't know about it until June 2nd, because I know June 2nd, 2020 was when I finally knew about it, because one of my people, which I'm not going to mention in this video for privacy reasons, told me about it. It was on social media and saying the Minot, North Dakota Kmart will be closing by July 17th. And they actually closed on July 19th. I don't know why they made that change there. Another thing I want to mention, guys, is my mom used to shop there at Kmart years ago in the 70s and 80s, because my mom was born in 1967. She was only 3 years old when Kmart first opened here in 1970 in Minot, North Dakota. So they used to have a Barlow's in there, which I'm not going to go into detail anymore, and they also used to have a photo center years ago, which I'm not going to mention at all either. One interesting thing, guys, is some of those former Kmart employees, they are retiring now, but they are actually in their 60s or 70s or 80s, maybe in their 60s, 70s, or 80s, I don't know, because they were looking back at some of their old photos of the early days of when those former Kmart employees were pretty much younger. I'm pretty sure back then, when they started working at the Minot, North Dakota Kmart, I'm pretty sure they were probably in their 20s, 30s, or maybe 40s or 50s. But now they're retiring because they pretty much grew up with Kmart as an employee. I mean, I really don't blame them for that. I truly understand that it's just time to go. Things happen in companies sometimes when they make the very difficult decision to close these retailers down. I can truly understand that. So just keep that in mind, guys. I truly understand why this happens with companies sometimes. And July 17th, by the way, guys, was actually my official last day at my childhood Kmart. And when I was in there for the final time, I was actually becoming very, very emotional, just because of how upset I was, and I didn't want them to leave for the last time. And unfortunately, July 19th was the day that they closed. I couldn't make it to the final closing announcement, but I get the idea. So U-Haul actually has since taken over my childhood Kmart. Just a little update on the store, guys. They are starting to renovate it now. They have painted the main part of the building, and unfortunately, they covered up the label scarf where Kmart used to say on there. And what's also interesting is before that, it used to say Big Kmart on there, and then they changed the sign a few years later. I don't remember when, but it was some time ago in the early 2010s. To the Kmart sign, which is the old one, not the new one. What's also interesting is they had the paint on the where the big Kmart sign used to be, and where where the Kmart sign used to be. They used to have 3 lines of paint, which I think that was kind of interesting, but it was really ugly at the same time. And one thing I also want to mention, guys, is U-Haul actually took down the canopy that used to say Big Kmart, Lawn, Garden, etc. That's really unfortunate because that was actually sitting there since Kmart left, and obviously that building's been, I would say, probably becoming decaying for a while now. I mean, like I said, U-Haul is renovating my childhood Kmart store, and again, it's such a shame that it had to close. I really, really am sick of Eddie Lampert doing this bullshit with Kmart and Sears. He's doing this just to literally steal some fucking money from these stores, and I've heard he's trying to buy some of these out. And again, I would love to throw Eddie Lampert in a Kmart prison yard and just lock him up there for life. And it's really ridiculous. I hope he goes to jail one day. I really hope he gets charged with, accused of stealing. Hopefully he gets charged with that. No offense there, but seriously. Again, I'm just gonna clear this out, guys. Just, try to go to Kmart and Sears as much as you can. If you guys have like a local Kmart or Sears, go to it as much as possible before Eddie Lampert, that stupid piece of shit, closes your store down. Anyways, guys, that's pretty much gonna be it for this video, and I will see you guys in my next video. Goodbye, everybody.